On Opening Soon by Design, a former fashion photographer and a Brazilian model bring high design to the high chair set.
The Bugaboo is a great Genius Jones product because it really represents us.
But will their new store be as stylish and functional as the products they sell?
I hate it so much that I'm afraid to hurt anybody's feelings.
Daniel Crone and Gianni Brito are a stylish couple with an equally stylish Miami home.
Gianni came from the world of design, of course, and fashion, working in New York. My whole life growing up, my parents introduced me to great design. My house was always filled with architects and artists, and design's just a big part of our life.
They're so passionate about sleek, minimalist design, they refuse to let anything cramp their style. Even the addition of these two.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
In fact, it was their children who got the couple thinking.
When we had kids, we were really in that situation where we were looking for great stuff, and we saw this as a great business opportunity.
The result? Genius Jones, a kid store without a Barbie or Batman logo in sight.
The idea of Genius Jones was to give an alternative to parents, very much like Gianni and myself, who really care about design and want to bring great design into their lives, in all aspects of their lives, including their life with children.
Here, Daniel and Gianni sell high-design furniture and toys with an equally high price tag.
This is a ball by Takashi Murakami, the artist who designed the Louis Vuitton bags. This is the classic Batoya chair. This is actually an original Castellino chair from the 70s. We like that people actually can take art home. This is useful art, and I really adore that.
The original Genius Jones is located in a hot Miami shopping district off Lincoln Road. But it's tiny and cluttered, nothing like the clean, spare aesthetic Gianni and Daniel love. It's time to expand.
If we don't do it, someone else is going to do it, because they've seen our success. And already we see people who are sort of nipping at our heels. So we really almost have no choice at this point.
They're moving into a 1,600 square foot space in the city's emerging design district, over 3 times the size of the original store. Heading up the design of the new store is Mary Carmen Martinez, an architect and new mom.
This here is your feature wall. So this is where we're going to have the wall that you're going to be able to manipulate also, but show the furniture and your feature toys and your feature items that you're going to want to display.
The design challenge? To create a sleek, uncluttered environment that also manages to be cozy and kid-friendly.
We don't want to be so serious that Genius Jones becomes a design museum. That's really not our intention. We want it to be more a place that people enjoy coming to, while at the same time, we want to keep advancing that sort of modern aesthetic that we love.
To minimize the starkness of the cavernous space, Mary Carmen has designed a series of smaller environments within it.
So we started adopting this idea of vignettes, of creating rooms rather than a showroom of furniture lines.
The front room will feature smaller items and a table full of touchable products for kids.
We created a landscape that was also very low to the ground so that children can see objects at their eye level, that they could tap on tabletops.
The huge back room with its 20-foot ceiling will feature an arching tent.
And we keep thinking about how does a child see the world, and it's almost in this, when they draw a house, it's this A-frame house. Also, where do children play, and they want to play inside tents.
The idea is to retain the room's industrial scale and drama while introducing a warm, whimsical quality. This will hopefully lure a different type of customer to the design district.
The one thing we're probably lacking here is just walking traffic. You just don't have a lot of people yet walking around on the street here. And primarily the design district attracts designers and architects. It's not so much to the retail trade. It's not really the end consumer who usually comes and shops here.
The location is risky, and so is the project's price tag.
somewhere between $50,000 and $150,000, and that's a big range. We don't really know where the whole thing's going to come in at because there are too many variables that we haven't pegged down yet.
For me, as an investor, of course, I worry about it. I talk to him all the time. You know, whatever you do, you know, I want my house, you know, and I don't want to sacrifice my kids' tuition.
Opening day is 6 weeks away.
It costs money to carry a space that you're not doing business, you're not getting any revenue in return, and you've got rent, and you've got employees, and you've got utility costs. It's frustrating.
Construction on the new Genius Jones store in Miami is 7 weeks behind schedule.
Hey, how's it going? So what's up?
Assembling the construction crew has been a nightmare.
Well, right now in Miami, there's so much construction going on. There's not a lot of incentive for anybody to really put the time into writing up an estimate because these guys all have more work than they can handle.
There is a lot of demand for quality craftsmen out there. So you almost have to beg people, you know, beg them to give you a proposal and beg them to come out to work and beg them to show up on time.
Workers may be scarce, but there are plenty of creative types on site. David Netto designs a coveted line of modern baby furniture and will have his very own display room at Genius Jones.
There was a visible dearth of stylish baby furniture on the market at the time that I started doing this about 3 years ago. When we show children's furniture that's not afraid to be plain, that's not afraid to be about beautiful finishes, that are simple, I wanted to put this furniture in an environment that made you never want to see another baby furniture store again. So we thought that it would be worth stepping up and doing a boutique together, collaboratively with Daniel, so that you have a store within a store.
He has insisted on hiring his own architect to design the David Netto room.
David was an interior designer before he was a furniture designer. And so part of the deal from the beginning was that David would basically take over designing his component of the Genius Jones store. And David is working with an architect named Will Meyer.
Well, first of all, we both love the teepee on the back wall.
We think the teepee is a must there. It's a magnet for kids.
Right.
Unfortunately, Will's vision clashes with Daniel's. His design won't allow Daniel to put enough Netto merchandise on the floor.
We have to keep in mind that we have now, with David's stuff, we have 3 cribs, 3 changing tables.
Yeah. What we really want to create is a vignette of a lifestyle.
Sure.
So whatever we do back here, it can't seem like you're in some inventory room where we have
Crib.
People come in and they want to see, oh, I want to see a modern crib, and I want to see the case group, and if it's not all there, it's sort of like, well, we've got 1,600 square feet of store, and we don't have room to put one of each thing out. I mean, then we're back to, we might as well have not, opened the store. So we have to be careful. We make sure that because that's the whole point of doing the store, is because in our current store we can't show this stuff. So that's why we're coming here. So.
1 week later, and the project has fallen even further behind schedule.
Remember the original ones? Did she take care of those too?
Take care in terms of speccing them or in terms of paying for them?
Buying them, picking them, and ordering them?
That I don't really know. The problem is that sometimes I feel like I'm not getting everything done as efficiently as I would like to. And there are things down in the space here that I'd like to be on top of that sometimes I just don't get around to doing.
Already, Daniel is working an 80-hour week, dividing his time between the old and new store and squeezing in quick visits with the kids.
Hey, look who's here, guys. Look who's here. Come here.
Me and Mom did it.
Can I have a kiss, please?
Me and Mom.
You and Mommy did that? Aw, you're the best.
What did you do inside there?
Building a new bathroom for you guys.
Wow.
Today, a plumbing issue has brought everything to a halt. After knocking down a wall, the architects discovered that a big steel pipe was standing between them and their design plans.
Now we're going through the process of moving that pipe and relocating some stuff in the floor, so that was a little bit of a surprise.
Ten weeks later, construction problems persist, and Daniel is getting worried.
I think originally we thought we were going to open in July, and then it got pushed. Then we were talking August.
Now it's September, and Daniel is losing over $16,000 a month by not being open.
It costs money to carry a space that you're not doing business, you're not getting any revenue in return, and you've got rent, and you've got employees, and you've got utility costs, and you've got, insurance and tax costs and things like that. It's a tough thing. So definitely, expense-wise, it's frustrating.
Opening day is now an estimated 6 weeks away.
We have employees that we've hired months ago based on a certain schedule that we thought we'd be able to meet, and now they're ready to work and we're not ready for them.
The projected opening for Genius Jones has come and gone. The new Miami store is now 3 months behind schedule. Problems with the trades persist.
This week has been a very frustrating week. And I think somewhere now we've hit a bit of a stall, particularly this week when our millwork guy was supposed to start installing his pieces. He's had various excuses, from back problems to personnel problems in his shop to claiming that pieces were broken. So we should have been open by now, and we're not, obviously.
It may not be open, but the space is taking shape. And today, designer David Netto has come to check out the room that will display his furniture.
Is this it?
I love it. As long as we have enough space to put 9 pieces of furniture.
Daniel is still worried about getting enough product on the floor.
I think good. I think the scale of this, like the superstructure here, is so vast that it makes everything feel smaller, that I think once we start putting furniture in, it's going to feel bigger.
Small is not bad.
No, I mean,
small can make people feel like they're being cosseted.
Well,
especially if they're in this monumental, huge building. Which,
this was the thing,
there's awareness of.
Like this scared me the most, was the ceiling height here. But once again, I think it's not. It's just that when you're in the context of a 20-foot ceiling and you're standing under a 7-foot ceiling.
It's just the whole compression.
But once we put in the
idea of the compression and then release, and the ceiling's going to be so tall out
when
here.
You're shopping for baby furniture, you want to feel cozy. You don't want to feel intimidated.
The Netto space will also feature a striking column designed to draw customers to the back of the store.
That's definitely our column.
That's
orange. I know, Dan. I told you it was going to be yellow. Psych. We changed it at the last minute because all the yellows sucked, and we wanted it to be a happy color. That ideally stitching is bigger scale and it goes across the seam, like real baseball stitching. But who can complain? This is very nice interpretation of the idea. It's great. I like the color. I really do. It has to draw people to the back of the store.
At the end of that axis, that punch at the end is exactly what we want.
But David is not so happy with the finish on the wood paneling for the walls.
I hate it so much that I'm afraid to hurt anybody's feelings. What do you think?
I like this, is what I like.
I'd be perfectly happy to show the back.
I would defer to whatever you guys want to do on this one, because this is
I think it looks awful.
This is a disaster.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's an easy fix. They decide to use the unfinished backside.
Yeah.
Other problems are not so easily fixed. The delays have cost Daniel more than just money.
Well, it's very frustrating. First of all, we've already gotten press in magazines referring to our new store in the Miami Design District, and we had stories as early as May, I think, that said we were going to be open in June. We have employees that we've hired months ago based on a certain schedule that we thought we'd be able to meet, and these people have made changes in their lives in order to be able to be available to us at this time, and now they're ready to work and we're not ready for them.
Genius Jones is now scheduled to open in 5 weeks.
I'm a doll maker, and I make different kinds of dolls. We have these masks that you can become one of them, which is quite nice.
Gianni Brito and Daniel Crone have endured 6 months of unexpected delays, but their new Genius Jones store in the Miami Design District will finally open its doors tomorrow.
Oh my God, it's 23 hours and 50 minutes to opening.
Dutch artist Bas Kosters is advising Daniel on the window display.
Because we have the 4 windows, I'd kind of like to make all 4 windows with your stuff.
Baz's art has been used to customize a line of Bugaboo strollers. They'll sell here at Genius Jones for $2,000. The store will also carry his edgy and unexpected line of dolls.
I'm a doll maker and I make different kinds of dolls. I started 5 years ago with these. These are hand-painted, exclusives. Last year I made these big life-size dolls. They're self-portrait dolls. It's really nice. And I have these busts also with my face and small dolls. We have these masks that you can become one of them, which is quite nice. It's a dirty baby. We made these for the Bugaboo installation too. It's quite funny, they're quite cute.
There's only 18 hours remaining, and Daniel and Gianni are just starting to set up the merchandise.
We're unpacking boxes and trying to remember what we actually have in stock, because some of these things were bought so long ago.
There's now a mad rush to get boxes opened and the best items displayed.
The most important thing about merchandising right now is to make sure that each piece finds its proper space and that we make a nice visual impact, especially for the opening.
They spend most of the night carefully arranging the store. The next morning, everything that's been done has to be undone.
Because we got a shipment of 60 boxes from France today, right now I'm just trying to figure out what we have that we're going to want to put out, because this is some really great stuff that we've been waiting for a while, and it was late in getting here. So might revise a little bit of our merchandising today, incorporating some of this stuff.
Outside the store, there's also a lot of work to do.
Oh, outside. Just a little party preparation there. The electricians are actually running 10 lines for us right now, so we can hook up our snow cone machine, our popcorn machine, our coffee making stand, our Christmas lights. We've got an Airstream trailer that we're trying to get backed into place.
The Airstream trailer is a nod to Daniel's obsession with vintage. It's a great touch, except they can't back it into the right spot. Back inside, David Netto and Will Meyer give the Netto room a final once-over. The orange column has not been placed correctly.
But the angle, I mean, it has to be like this exact angle. Do you have a pencil? The column was not where we first wanted to put it. We located it exactly, and I think what happened was that the X we put on the floor became the light, was interpreted as the location for the light, and the column moved very far back against the mirror, which just was wrong. It was sick and wrong, and something had to be done.
Fortunately, the reversed wall paneling is working.
Having seen before the wood that was, finished in the wrong way, this looks fantastic. It's the way we wanted it to look anyway. It was a happy accident that worked out.
There's beds to make, AstroTurf to lay down, trash to dump, lights to hang, an Airstream trailer to position, new products to merchandise, and floors to scrub. And opening is 2 hours away. Baz's dolls and canvases are ready for the opening. And so is the Airstream trailer. A couple of guys and a jack secure it in place.
I love that.
The store is now ready for its close-up. Genius Jones quickly fills with moms, dads, and kids, all itching to spend money. Guests are so taken with the new space, they don't notice that workers are still adding finishing touches. Finished or not, after 6 months and a budget of $265,000, the store is a huge hit.
The Genius Jones store is fabulous. The layout is wonderful. It has wide open spaces. As you can see, the kids are all having a great time. It's child-friendly. It's parent-friendly. It's lovely. The big question is, how do you mix
cutting edge, trendy design with the fact that most people are going to be accompanied by 4-year-olds. This place is perfect. They have open space, tents, big cushions to flop on, lots of things you can't mess up. I think they did a great job.
Architect Mary Carmen is happy with the results.
You see the kids walking up to the mirrors. You see the kids definitely enjoying the furniture that it's at their level. I love seeing them walking up to the books and reading the books. So the space is primarily for them and for the parents to see the things that they can get for them. And so seeing them interacting in the space, this is exactly what it's supposed to be.
It's exciting. It's fun to make the first sale. There's nothing like that in retail.
And for me, the greatest thing, more than anything, is to see the children happy, playing with the toys and playing with the furniture.
It's fun to be able to say, welcome to the new Genius Jones. It's like I've waited 6 months to be able to say that.
Genius Jones, a combination of hard work, child's play, and a couple's unwavering commitment to design.
We gonna be in the TV.